Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. Welcome to another edition of our weekly Peace Talk Show. The show that is brought to you to discuss on issues surrounding our national peace and security, how to safeguard it and how to promote it. Mbadi ngolun dole mutanale jang bifanang fatu network la kibar bundala nata kamin kachale ja wala nyindi ko na bankola Cairo nin tanko ma kela nyame nga samba nyaro banko e tanka andong bi fana nga mo kuma balle soto jam min ya lonko e bodnang police la bundala wala ka futan kan jambi pour kanaka ku kacha mi ya lonko ku kuma bale mari kulo mi ya lonko ku sula mari bale mari and kulo mi ya lonko mo bele nyanta mbulo ka fula nyokam pour kaje amun kulde mi ya lonko nga soto na banko kanjang mba start lani mara karola superintendent you may welcome introduce yourself and say hello to the followers of Fatu Network.
Thank you very much, Alasan. My name is Chief Superintendent Sup.Jaiteh. I'm the National Coordinator for Community Policing. My office is situated at the Police Headquarters, Banjul. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry for telling you, Superintendent. Chief Superintendent. He is Chief Superintendent Sup.Jaiteh, the coordinator of Community Policing Unit in the Gambia. And also, I have, a well-known officer here, and he also is going to introduce himself.
Yes, thank you so much, Alasan Justice Jallo. Thank you, Chief Superintendent Sup.Jaiteh. Thank you, our esteemed listeners and viewers of Fatu Network. This is Assistant Superintendent of Police for the Conta, the station officer of Bakau Police Station. Of course, the former police PRO. And I'm here on the invitation of Fatu Network to discuss on this very, very important topic.
Thank you very much. Mbele nga moy wonyama komi nyimu kulde mi alanko kusula mari mbale mati anu bi nga kachabunda wen natala ja wolo nyinti ko community policing nyamo community policing wolo police wala fanna la mi alanko wolbe marling tanko ni maralola na community wala na dandangol mafango and domestic crimes nyamo domestic crime wolo nyinti fitnol min ka bonan na dandangol to so Chief Superintendent Sup.Jaiteh atelbe marling wala and atelbe coordinate kan Gambia jang and then also Chief Assistant Superintendent for the Conta atemu moldi mi alon ko fane londo soto police yala ko kono bake andum fanan be mbulu ka fula nyoko ne bi pour kanyim ko kacha andum mol fana mi alon ko be jibe kan mol fana yo sula soto jel because Chief Superintendent ay kuma jamal so bi fula mole wolon munon community police on la do koti andim fana mol fana yemu responsibility le soto pour ka community policing mako because nyam community policing wo almost I have defined there. But to start with Chief Superintendent, you can tell us what is community policing.
Thank you very much, Alasan. Once more, thank you for the invitation. Community policing is both a philosophy and a strategy. It is called a philosophy because it is about thinking. It is about how police officers think about security. And the strategy is how to put it into effect. How do we put it into action? It is about partnership between members of the community and the police in identifying problems of crime in their various communities, in our communities, and collectively working with the police to solve those problems of crimes. But if you look at the direction of community policing, if it is properly applied, the direction, that is the outcome of it, leads to safe and secured environment. And that is the focus of the Gambia Police Force today. How can we live in a safe and secured environment? Because anything cannot be done without people live in safe and secured environment. Community policing is a shared responsibility also, because we believe at the Gambia Police Force, we cannot do it alone. Security calls for the intervention of all. We are changing the way we operate in the past, and that is why today you can see police presence out in our communities. Recently, since when the new IGP came, there was thinking around community police and how to activate it more, and that brought about the idea of zero crime operation, and which was later followed by operations occupied the space. The second operation is only about consolidating zero crime. The police officers are out in our communities. They are only not stationed at their police officers. The idea is to get away from armchair policing, where people will sit in their comfort zone in their, how to call it, in the police stations and wait for crime to be registered.
Fire brigade policing.
Fire brigade policing, or you feel like you call it that way. That is reactive policing, which is very expensive. But as we discuss more, we'll come to know.
Yes,
the rationale.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much on that. In fact, I made a research, and the Department of Justice in the United States also has a similar definition to what you even said. It's the systematic use of data trying to promote partnership and collaboration with the community in order to foster harmony and tranquility in the various communities, every nook and cranny of a community. Basically, let me also speak to Conta, Mr. Conta, or ASP Conta. Why do we need community policing?
Thank you again, Alassane. I think I will be speaking more of the local language.
No problem. You
the
are
reason be it, this we are talking about the community policing and the strategies of community policing. And the majority of the people out there, I think they understand the local language better. So for that being the case, it's important. It's very, very important for them to understand what we are doing here, what we are saying here.
Exactly.
Okay? Just like my senior, Chief Sup.Jaiteh, rightly stated, community policing, Kala Nidrong, Wolom, ferolti police bunda e ferol men natna ideal men natna ka make soko police and in community they work hand in glove ka make soko they work hand in glove so much so that nya like a crime ka reduce tala to the lowest fitno ka fitno tala to the lowest level because fitno fenete me alon komi obviously we all know that me alon komi fitno nda ate bannola because fitno is as old as adamala fitno nata since from onset so nda bannola so fitno fenete me alon komi ate bannola fereng so but what we can do is ka try ka tala to the lowest level. There is no country in this world banko ten dunia ko men sa fay ko intelligent fitno bande 100% with all the sophisticated weapons gadgets with all the knowledge with all the advancement hand sign fitno be bankol kanne so fitno jam fanan ate bandola ning kasin kamera ko fitno bandala 100% wote kelano of course comme afo nyamen na inspector general of police IGP Abdoulaye Sagna la nyaton ko yakoto ay ferole natna meran ko mi ka mek suka fitno talatu di lowest level wala wol kono operation zero crime bi jele wol kono operation occupy the space bi jele occupy the space niya jube niya feel ko mi what is coming criminal
exactly.
And as the police force, we are not going to accept that. So with all the mega resources in the aketa nyawnya da doata nyawnya until bolam fantole to go in out there to the public ka make sure komi or space or email occupy really occupy them and make sure security and stability I maintain in Bangkok from based on freely. There was a time when ika for Gambia hani suro talan sabatalan nani isita yayola anywhere you want to go to imasilanda fensoto you have no problem ka foko I will be attacked but B ela bunko na fang iko silanda sotole mune ono various factors.
We will come to those ones, and definitely we are going to look at them. Thank you very much, ASP. And come, nkafa nyameng bejang kachala mialong ko community policing ti andunga police la mo farman sarim balle soto jambi minialong ko wala kafutan kam pour ka kacake kula mialong ko kusula rim balle mati wala community policing ti andung fanang na metam ben lainol yellale pour alning Member Marlin community policing, more or less, we are going to create that kind of community for people to speak to the head of community policing and for him also because he is speaking to you. Adabe diam kaliel. Alfana said diamaye puru nganyoso hakilola because niko tanko ning kanto amanke mokile na kuti amantra manza kundabul anyaje community policing natnang wolon ka security natna mol feje sai. So ibaje la komiko amanke niko tanko wala security police holder malde wala soldier holder malde sai is everybody's business. It's collective. Chief Superintendent, what are some of the aims and objectives of community policing?
Thank you very much. Like I mentioned earlier, the focus of community policing is to ensure that people live in safe and secure environment. and the direction is all about improving quality of life. Because the quality of life with people will not be improved when people are living in fear. People cannot go out to to carry out their daily businesses. So that is the focus, to ensure that people live in safe and secure environment. But we will also look at it. Community policing is a philosophy that is embedded. It's a thinking around democratic policing.
Okay.
Yes, it's a thinking that is around democratic policing. And if you look at democratic policing, it calls, there are certain principles that must be applied. And you cannot apply that one as a police need to involve people. One of the fundamental principles of democratic policing is participation. Now, if you look at participation, what we are now encouraging, participation of the general public in policing. I always have this slogan when I go out on our outreach campaigns or programs, that policing is the business of everyone.
Exactly.
There are instances in this country where people see police officers only in uniform, are the ones mandated. Fine, we are the ones mandated by the Constitution to be in uniform to carry out policing activities, but not to say that we are only, the society should be excluded, because we are policing the society. So we need their inputs in the business of policing. So those inputs are what we work on collectively to solve problems of crime. So once those problems of crimes are solved, people will live in, the trust and confidence will be regained, and people can go out and carry on their daily, move on with their daily businesses without any form of fear. And the other thing is about accountability. Another fundamental principle is accountability, because today we always challenge ourselves. Whatever we do as police officers, let us not say that it is not known to the public. We are not in that area. But whatever we do, directly or indirectly, public must know it. So we are policing a community, and the community, without the community, there's no need for the existence of the police.
Exactly.
So whatever we do, our conduct as police officers is very fundamental, because we are out there to execute a service, and that service must be executed in a way that is in a professional way. So that is about accountability. So whatever we do as police officers, we must be very, we must always have at the back of our mind that we are doing it, and people are taking note of our actions, whether it is done in a professional manner or not, it is done in a manner that is not called for. And the other one is about community policing. Once it is applied, because it's proactive in nature, it is cost effective. Because managing crime is not easy. When you react to crime, you get suspects, people are arrested. They are in your custody. It's the responsibility of the state to feed them. That one is expensive in the first place. Once, even if they are convicted by the court, if they go to any prison center, the state still need to take responsibility of them. So why should we allow a situation where the state will invest more on our people, rather than doing the preventive part of it, which is very, very cost effective. And when it's properly applied, it leads to efficiency in policing. It is cost. It's very and then
related and in fact funded by. See the police as their collaborators and their friends, instead of seeing the police as enemies. But police also, I don't think they should see people as enemies. Whatever that people are doing, police should contribute, trying to see how best these things are transformed or changed structurally, even. But instead of, we have moved those things, we have police running after people, people running after police. I don't think that is the purpose of community policing.
No, that's not the purpose of community policing. The direction of community policing is to build confidence. Once you build that confidence, the inputs you needed from the community will come out.
Okay. And
because
what is the
policing now is all, you see, globally, there's this term people use. It's about intelligence policing. Today we live in an era of intelligence policing. It's not about how sophisticated the police organization is, but how proactive is the police in trying to collect information and analyzing those information after reacting to those information, working on the information. So community policing, once it is properly applied, that is what we are doing now. Because as the moment you go out and engage members of the public in identifying problems of crime, those problems of crimes are intelligence for the police.
Yeah.
So that it helps the police in what strategies are we going to use to respond. You engage community members, and then you get those information from them, and then you develop a strategy that how are you going to respond to.
I will come back to you, the police. And then I think, recently there was, this thing, some arrest that was made at one place. I saw him commending a particular person in a community who is so particular about security. All the police all call, we have seen so and so here, but I have seen so and so here. Ma understand, and the police when they came across some cannabis, and which actually, let me come to ASP Conta. ASP Conta, do you think using community policing can control domestic crimes?
Very well. Very well, yes. Using community policing, of course, can control domestic crime. Like if you look at domestic crime, is the crime between intimate partners.
Okay.
Crime between parents and children. Crime between community. So these crimes, if we use the community, of course we can stop those crimes being happening. So apart from that, like something very important Sup.Jaiteh just mentioned, that is to say the contribution of the public towards certain individuals, who will take their own resources, their vehicle, partnership we need, to make sure that to ensure
police, the sense of directions you are taking, to be frank, we need community policing. But what mechanisms are you using to enhance this, to make sure that this is robust and effective?
Yeah, thank you very much. See, everything has to begin at one. What we endeavored to do recently is to come up with a strategy, community policing strategy, stakeholders. The strategy was validated. Now it is about to be rolled out. Now, part of the strategy, it calls for drafting of community policing, operational guidelines on engaging community policing volunteers.
Okay.
And that also is finalized now. Once the document is, very soon we'll start rolling it out. And we are engaging our partners to reach out to every community in this country to establish, there are existing community policing volunteers in some communities, but we really want to reactivate them, those existing ones. We also want to, if there are no community policing volunteers in any community, to establish new ones and then give them the necessary support in terms of training, how to execute community policing. Because it needs to be controlled, it needs to be managed. If you don't manage it, it can go out of hand. People can use it for any other platform. It can be even be politicized. This is what we've noticed recently. And then that is not the objective of community policing. It is out of politics. It's not. It's something that can be used for to gain any political point. That is why we recently drafted this these operational guidelines. It's a very comprehensive document, and it is going to be shared with every community policing structure about to be established, or the existing ones, to know their roles and to also know the roles of the police. So because we are policing people, people need to know what is their take in terms of security. They also need to know the role of the police in terms of security. All those things are spelled out in that operational guidelines. The strategy is there, but the strategy is just going to tell you the means. But you need certain tools like the operational guidelines to put the strategy into action. And the strategy, thank God, the strategy is now validated, is already ready, and the operational guidelines just in a moment of very soon, maybe by next week, it will be okay. Everything will be okay, and then we roll it out. And what we did, we recently. We were moving around West Coast and KM and Banjul, engaging schools. We roll out a campaign called Anti-Crime Education Campaign, where we go out and had dialogue, fruitful dialogue with students on their take on security.
Yes, in fact, my memory can serve me well, although a small boy, but I think those days there used to be community policing, where the police will go to the communities and sit with the elders at the banter bars, have discussions with them. People will raise their concerns, and the police will respond. I can remember those ones. Are we going back to those again?
Yeah, that is what we want to activate, because this is Gambia. There is no other country called the Gambia. I always tell the people. So once you nurture peace in this country, it's not only for you. It's not for any member. It's for all of us. Because if things go bad in this country, let's not pray for that. the consequences will fall on all of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Not only the ones in uniform.
Yeah.
So let's not pray for that situation to happen in this country here. But see, there's one thing that is gradually eroding out from our society. That is the social cohesion.
Okay.
My brother, it is very sad. People in this country of recent, people, even through your own observation, people are getting more impatient. People are getting more intolerant in this country.
Yeah. So
we need to collectively work together. Because all our individual activities or responsibilities, what we do, some total of that released to collective is something. But that is what we call collective responsibility. But it needs to be a positive one. So what I always tell people, reconstruct themselves positively, in a positive manner. If things that are coming out of you are in the negative form, and you want to bond with someone, the negative will definitely touch the person.
Yeah.
If you are someone who is always talking about robbery in your community, you are talking about things that are not called for in any decent society, the negative things, and then you want to bond with someone, you know, it is the person who is going to receive it is also going to receive it in the negative form. But the thinking needs to be changed now. People need to sit down and think that and begin to realize that this country belongs to all of us, regardless of wherever you belong to. That is not important.
Yes, you said something very right here, and that is democratic system of that is democratic policing. Said here, fire brigade from do certain things which you know that sometimes it's not their wish, and also I think the police also have they can also security. Because security starts with oneself, and that is the concept of human security. But coming to ASP Conta, what resources do you...
The resources we need are just numerous. We need human resources.
Okay. Exactly.
We need... our men need to be motivated.
Okay.
We know the government is doing their best, and we know the people out there, the private partners are doing their best, but we need more. You know, otherwise it will be very, very difficult for us. You know, to get out there. You know, sometimes we will be at our police stations. Complainants will come there. You know, to get to them is difficult, or to get to the crime scenes is it's very, very difficult. You know, it is not. People should not, like Sup.Jaiteh stated, people should not politicize these things. You know, this has been happening since. You know, and up till today it is happening. That you'll come to police station, sometimes it's very, very difficult, you know, for police officers to move to crime scenes because of what? Lack of resources. You know, we'll have to ask the complainants to hire taxi for us to go. You know, this is very, very sad. It's very sad. And I think the general public should start to appreciate the police. The police is doing a lot of great things. Phones, you know, make calls here and there to make sure that they find offenders in this country together. Make sure that we work together. You know, wherever you see crime, please report it to the police. And wherever the police have gone to effect arrest, you know, sometimes you see people will just come when the police are about to effect arrest. They will, block them. You know, preventing the police officers to do that arrest. Some people are doing that, which shouldn't be encouraged. Instead, you should help the police to effect arrest so that we all live in peace. But if you are obstructing the police officers in the due execution of their lawful duties, then it's unfortunate. So that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Because when you talk about community policing, it requires. When you talk about security, it requires resources. And these resources, as you stated here, Nyaming is very important. The first resource is not matter of bringing money, but human resource. Everybody will find their resource by how helping the police, and also it cannot happen. Nimotol mantaraje and logistics come like Nyaming. Wado you have to even make calls. You don't expect, sometimes, police, you go there, communication material, gadgets, sometimes they're lacking. And you sometimes need to call, your men may be out on the field, you tell them that, oh, something has happened in this place, or something is happening in this place, can you rush there or run there? So basically, the reason why I bring this one, these are issues, there are things, the people need to hear, let them know that, they have a responsibility. And we have seen people, they are outsiders, coming here and even giving donations and support to our police. And we have people here also, they are capable of doing the same. So it's high time, we start, investing in the police. We also have, a former police officer who is also who was also heading community policing unit in the Gambia here, and now he is in Canada. I also want to bring his attention so that we share ideas. It's a matter of sharing ideas and see how best we can come to some conclusive terms so that our nation can be in a better environment. But in the meantime, hello. Hello, Mr. Bojang Aziz.
Yes.
Welcome to the Peace Talk, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Welcome, sir. ASP, Chief Superintendent Jaiteh and ASP Conta are saying hello to you and the rest of the followers.
Yeah, hello to my co-panelists. I am thrilled to share this forum with them.
Oh, thank you.
I've been following their comments and I'm really impressed.
Thank you. Okay, sir, you were once serving as a police officer, and in fact, you once headed the unit called community policing. You coordinated it. And security is collective. Whether you are here or you are not here, your children, this is their homeland, ancestral homeland. And as a result, you owe this country something that is to participate directly or indirectly towards the development of this country. So that because we are learning, and every moment and every stage in life, we keep on learning. So you were there, even in jail, so you maybe even in jail, so be you are out of that place. So perhaps, those can serve as some kind of good remarks or remarks for Jaiteh and the co and Nitata. They can also contribute. So Yamune Soto to share with them and the rest of the followers.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, sir.
I've been following the comments or remarks by the two gentlemen, Conta and what's the other guy, the chief superintendent?
Chief Lamin Jaiteh. Lamin Jaiteh.
Yes, Lamin Jaiteh. And I am really impressed. I think they have all what it takes to be able to defend and probably roll out community-based policing.
Okay.
Listening to the two gentlemen and the definition that they gave, the strategies and the efforts that they're doing, I think I have very little to add. But of course, I can always share my experience.
Okay.
What I observed and what I would like to do here is that I would like to speak in local language.
You're welcome, sir.
But also, I wish the panelists could have stick to local language.
Okay, okay.
The chief superintendent have wonderful ideas.
Okay.
But he is explaining all of these strategies, concepts, and philosophies in a language that is not widely spoken in our country. He is talking about a phenomenon that is afflicting the greater part of our illiterate community. When you have something like a gamo and all you do is speak in Arabic, people will know which Arabic you can speak, but at the end of the day, the message will not sink.
Yes. So
it has been a challenge. No, come, let me learn.
Okay.
It has been a challenge even when I was actively serving in the police.
Okay.
We must find a way to overcome that.
Okay.
That being said, I'm now gonna come back and speak in local language.
Okay.
And you can choose for me between Mandinka and Wolof, which one you want me to speak, and I will.
You can speak Mandinka or Wolof. You are at liberty to choose anyone. You coming after nyame nying ngani nadna mole so item come like ngite invite le nadna puri diamu so kan wo kan ngite lafta kamin diamu because Mandinka kango molia mole jang fula kango molia mole jola kango Wolof. So kan wo kan ngite you feel comfortable you can speak. Isa diamu no.
All right. Silam ba fula ning Mandinka kango la bi aketanye seo kubati pour mfana yena ka demanding for nying bengoto na lonko bi ika community policing na kuodiam community policing ni tata ina tansa fokodoron tanko kana kuoluta nga warandi ta fodoron tanko munem community policing ti ya asene andile community policing mu ferole ti mirole mu amanke mira kutati bari ferole mu mensati na nsitanko sabatindino banko kan bari police on man do wodo ku soto na manke ka kuriya banjan anin ka tenkumo nin sabato sibi banko kan police on la do wote kino la fanan molu koma yo bari wo molu fana fangotina no ifangoye ka police olu mako nin imaje ko police olu pareta pour inye do woke ma ya tabaki nka moy molu ka foko banku dingol le buka mol son wala banku dingol nyanta nala pour ye police ol mako to nyalem bari fo police ol le o bunda yele adum fo police ol le o banku dingol limani yandi ko al kuma ya tamfele aliye mem fo je fanan be barala wala adum be barala la ani suturo kan fo police ol ye la moy banku dingol la ya koye mune muila kole ya kuoti ba do kula nyamen njayewo je bambandi pak ilan pour ka community policing pour nga faram fan mollier ka asoni andi pour isa kala muta lisol la lodula ni community lodula mu muneti nsi security tanko nsa ta ko kunkolem ya lo momo la balingo beji bari mo bete tinyan no la seno la fodolieta jala fayo la dolieta julaya la pour mbesi balu ko modolu ko alintolu tombon ntolusi.
The network is breaking. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Yes, I'm getting you somehow. It's coming back.
Yo, community policing ka tungkumani police ya be lafta bi ka ole faram fansali.
Yes. You can summarize it because it's 1 hour and yes.
Yes, bari iman justice ke to me. You spend half of the program.
Okay.
No, abete wato silam be men fola doro.
Okay.
Sol ba kata kambake ala baraka ba kata kambake.
Oh, okay. Mr. Bojang, we will get you on board, and because your experience of the and even Fokanteng is very important. We will get you on a special platform, and then we will discuss on this, and on that day also be assured that that one is going to be exclusively yours.
Sila woto nim futata wotal sinjo. I have my time. You will be by 7 o'clock Canadian time.
Okay.
By 8 o'clock,
Okay.
Only to have these 5 minutes, right? Is that what it means?
10 minutes.
Community ni molu police yallo mune muilda rolti.
Okay.
Ninko community policing si effective adu lafta nun kajele.
Okay.
Bari abaraka baki.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Kujabi, so because I don't want to keep you boring, because once the talking goes like this, sometimes it becomes. But Mr. Aziz Bojang, former police sole mati mi alon ko ay kewyani londo so nyum ko kono bakele andum mbaje kan nyamen to he can speak for over 2 or 3 hours. But mim fanam bije comme wala nyindi ko nyин fanan 1 hour program on nyindi and time on nyim bokota time on nyim almost abandonane. So wala tina mbe bolo sela, but be assured that komiko mbe sot la jarne, and on that day exclusively we are going to discuss on community policing, because yele no soto jele kewe soto je andu ya makamo finance marale no. Mr. How do you call it again? I'm used to this Mr. title, Chief Superintendent Jaiteh, currently, we actually, you said you are reviving the community policing, but how long has the community policing been here?
Community policing, it is as old as the Gambia Police Force. But the thinking came around to the activation of it was 2003, something like that. They are about 2003. That unit was established around that time. But you know, we always inform our police officers that every police officer is a community policing officer. It is because if you look at the core value, how to call it, our functions or our mandate, prevention is there, and prevention is what proactive in nature. Community policing, to sum it all, is a proactive strategy, policing strategy.
Okay.
So every police officer is part of the community policing cycle. That is something that we always want for all our members to appreciate and then work on. It is not an issue that fine, Jaiteh is the one coordinating community policing, and then he is the one, and Jaiteh and the team are the one giving the sole responsibility to community policing in the Gambia.
Okay. So sorry, so I'm adding all 5 minutes dila mol fanan na puru nga call kenan community policing la nyaton ko aning SO mi alongo is also at a community wala bijambi puru ni mole kacha andum comme nga fale nyami kuma soto moli andum be nga mole kuma kesse ar ngal bi foka moli mol fana ye mun nyinin kar la soto puru at least ñu makoy. So you can call on the line 3690164. On WhatsApp also, it is actually written there. So also from there, you can follow us. Peace Talk So Monkey Fendimi Alonko, we just stop at the four corners of the studio here. You can always follow us even on behalf WhatsApp group, because what happens is that we don't want this thing to stop just within the four corners of the studio here. We created WhatsApp groups where we keep on preaching for peace, and then very soon we will start going on campaigns. Me Alonko, we will be nurturing and advocating for peace. So you can call. We have the two officers here, Mini Alonko, they are going to respond to you. Then you can ask, because they are here to they are here and you know so we have a first caller, and I don't know who is that. Hello. Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Can I be connected?
Yes, you are connected to Faro Network, sir. Yes, hello. Yes, okay.
I just wanted to contribute to the program. I think it's a very important program.
Thank you, sir.
Given the context of the security challenges that our security forces continue to face.
Thank you, sir.
But I want to ask a question to the community policing experts.
Okay.
Sup.Jaiteh and Fofona.
Okay.
Please, with Conta rather. What strategies do they have in place to make sure that the officers that are involved in this community policing thing are well equipped with the knowledge, with the skills? Because, you know, it's not just about the concept. It's not about telling people the community policing this and that and that. It's about people that are there, giving them the knowledge base for them to be able to go out there and execute the mandate efficiently and diligently.
Yeah.
Now, that is very key, whether they are doing continuous refresher training for their community policing focal persons, and still the position of the police high command in terms of staffing the community policing unit, in terms of providing resources for the police community policing unit.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Your question is well heard, and they all heard you well, and they will respond to your question and your doubt. Thank you. Yes, CSP, I'm for Akumata Bakela, because we cannot make community policing sustainable. At Itala, no, that is the police. They are the ones they are on the front line. If they are under resource, they don't have the necessary or the basic nitty-gritties to go on with their works. Come here, Conta, the resources needed and the strategies you have in place. You see, these things are connected. So, what do you have? Because you are the one heading that. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really like that comment or question. one thing we need in this country is frank discussion, frank communication. The country is at a stage where people need to talk frankly. Policing is a very expensive enterprise. But it's sad to note that what it takes to be a police officer in this country, the basic logistics we need as a police officer are absent. That's the reality. So we have to face the reality and then move on as a country when we want to develop this country. So if the resources are not there, you want the police officers to execute their functions in a diligent and efficient manner. We are talking about efficiency. If it, looking at our response strategies, it is very sad. You move to some of our police stations, they don't have how to call it, what it takes to move to a crime scene. We are talking about time, the response time, the time that, because if crime is about to be committed or a crime is committed, you look at the quick response of the police officer, of a police officer. When that one is lacking, how do you think we can police a nation like this country?
So, somebody is also on the line. Let me also.
So to add onto the issue, because the community policing office, what we are doing recently, we've identified community policing coordinators across the country. And in a moment, shortly we will engage them on training. It's very important for us to even understand the basic concept of community policing. Community policing is not about when crime is registered and police officers come together and then say we are going to negotiate. It's about negotiation. Is not part of community policing. You don't negotiate. When a crime is committed, crime is registered. At that point, you don't have to apply community policing. It is no community policing.
Okay. Yes, somebody was on the line, but the person is just, you have something to say, Conta?
Yes, just to add to Sup.Jaiteh, comme na keba ya fanya Aziz Bojang, na seniolom, comme sen na mulbe banda falanse e kontodia, pour fana ya understand no. Community policing ni ajube, a manke ko fendi me alon comme Jaiteh lo official damman nom.
Okay.
Community policing unit damman nom.
Okay.
I more very involved.
Yes, hello. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
Welcome to the Peace Talk Show.
How are you?
We are fine.
Okay, I was also following up the program.
Okay, you're welcome, sir.
I'm also a police officer.
Okay.
And I really, thank Chief Superintendent Jaiteh and also the Conta.
Okay.
And indeed, the program is very much important.
Okay.
I know now, as they said, the police, it's high time, we emphasize more on community policing so that, crime rate can be reduced and information sharing also can be filtered very well. Because as a nation, as the police, itself, is not only here to make sure that people are arrested, and prosecuted, but also to make awareness to the general public so that people can aware of laws and also aware of issues so that, we can minimize crime rate. So I really thank you guys for initiating this program, and I think, in the long run, it will help a lot.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That is one of your colleagues is complimenting us for the... Somebody is calling again. Hello. Welcome to the Peace Talk Show.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, I've been to jail.
Okay, you're welcome, madam. Hello? Hello? Yes, what is up the line? Yes, you are saying something.
Yes, that was Bintanjai, one of our officers.
Okay,
a very active person in community policing as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish, she could have continued.
Yes.
But
she is on the line, they can see is back. Okay. Yes, madam, welcome. Hello? Hello? Oh, you can continue.
Okay, like you rightly saying, security is a very expensive business. And in that, not only the police can do these things. We have to get the community in doing these things.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, hello? When the line starts, welcome to the Peace Talk Show, sir.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Hello?
You live on Peace Talk Show.
Hello? Okay, like you rightly
Hello? Hello? Oh, yes. When the line starts, it's a problem always. Hello? Hello? Hello, madam, welcome. You can continue.
Okay, like security is business of all. Like, of course, what our boss, as he said, it's very true. As police, we have to open up to the public, to the general public. The general public, should also not just see the police. These are police. No, we.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, welcome to the Peace Talk, so, sir.
Conta.
Yeah, big thing to la.
Mr. Conta,
Okay. Welcome.
Yeah. Ndamira membe Gambia kukilimbe yala bakole abala le promoting police for to understand. Because always in the can you follow ko Gambia memu to nyaado wala mende ko Gambia civilian le police muti jawoleti. You understand? Police do fana be jaman ke baro fana civilian fana muti jaw ko mo be kam fari no kam so in order ko bonding da mal tema. In community policing in better.
Exactly.
Okay, but in the cooking for the Yamira Maka education sector in Bulle Puru cooking the Wolamuko human rights section ya introduced covering primary school level. Okay, Africa Limo in England, but Africa Limonia police for the Nova or Hanke Bafa, Yoka Faranyamaka, Silanyam.
Yeah.
Young me more in police or Katimaka Neko, because the Kalaneko policewomen can malon na ala right lon na phone right lon after Canadian one and no my right lon I make sure I need right lon be protect you understand okay but like jama policewomen found can arrest jama you found right lon and no a Canadian others I made a phone right for a long ma police will be then can you understand
yeah exactly
because mune o sabu jama to like mo men ka police ya do bola jama wala mun ko men na karaw man jamfa you understand? But now man go hanila karaman jam fanyo bar ni education system ko na system ko je me alon ko ide la right lot karana je wala go mol la right karana je ba je la bi la police ol bul
yeah thank yes
don la jam England ja bit ne ka fa community protection of the CPOs you understand
okay
social behavior team ka traje ide ko police ol ka arresting ke for certain circumstances now to the arrest but ni ni mol je sa de ko no you understand friendly friendly move the market the mal team
yeah
you understand
yeah
adu bi tonya Gambia memu ponya police ol te ko fana keno la ni do round table mo table number 1 police ol ka do ko ke nya je to abu je ka check point ol de mo police ol ta lori ya ke ka mo ko la line no de kala ponya insurance sama so mo ko le people men nyam ko wol ka o kele ka re mo do ko mo do tam ya mo ponya insurance sama so de yolo you understand so andu nya je bi to abol ni ya criminal theater niaje ka control nyamen tariyake wala mu nyindi digital bol men bebo ya understand because bi min sara bunda bi mo je ka bi nyaw o bursu bi nyaw criminal lo ka tiara par ni ka police ol damma je ko pudum ko bi mo do fon damma security le
yeah exactly
ya understand because bi ni mo ko mo jala ta ko ya kala bara police ol mo toje abe tan min tan na ga bon aka tuma en neso
exactly
wala ya keno nyulu ben je tan wala man range ka par bi ko la je a police sono do kan mo fa ge da je police ol mo table
exactly abaraka bake mo jamal be line to yakuma kende balle fo andong yelo ko mo lebe jansaro do kela min fala mo le wala nyindi ko to be frank enough kabri nga nyim programme ko commencer nga line ko commencer ke yele ngalande ko tonya security is everybody's business because more they are calling ninga line yele always is a problem so hello this is the last caller hello yes welcome to the Peace Talk so
thank you very much kombal kono to diala la nyinka cha kumarimbala
abaraka bake
BSB Conta contonaning CSP Sup.Jaiteh
thank you
so untela contribution of element walem kamul hakil bulandi ko men mo
okay
bari fanam bota community delto So community members sol sakata yi buluka fu police sol ma kaji ko nyin tan ko membe ba ni wala ay sabati na banko kan gambia do ya kan be mu ba di mollel
exactly
andu mennu kanyum tafar pol ke banko kan ikabo community lelto molle ke ji ay la sol kono ni mollel ka fota ma ni mollel ka ko kacha so ni ko de me yalon ko man tora poli akana community to ya kata ika police sol kala mutandi andu be ashola ko confidentiality mbe wo kelale momo ye information o di police sol la ito definitely la because ni aje dol bu kanay ka sillale ko ni nga nyum fo police sol ye ibitan to fintindi la le ay kenye jawsi ando tinna community to
yes okay
kenyanta kala nyamin
okay abaraka bag ila kumol kende ata ishahayata and mbaringol mo be tendula mbeje la line obe busy mbakele and wato fela sita mi alon ko tuta ja manjava and ñu fana nyanta kumala mo so le nyanta mi fala mole pour mole ya moy me mo be tendula mbeje la bon comme ndemi fokale wala ñiti ko ñing man danjang is nga WhatsApp group wol yelle mi alon ko we keep on filtering any information here nka samba jele and you can also be contributing by asking questions there mi alon ko ni nad nanjang. Sometimes, we can even raise those issues while we use as topics to come and engage the stakeholders. Putting ajako, tankoning kando nyimbanko kanjang, akeda mobile sula cold and mobile ka participate because that group is created for everybody to participate. So, number you can text that number. It's the one on WhatsApp. So we will communicate. Let me just. Okay, you were commenting on something.
Yes, I was commenting on something, but in the interim, something very important also popped up.
Yes.
Yeah, that is regarding, okay, let me just say it in the local language.
Okay,
well, I'm coming currently in UK, I'm coming in UK, Dawoda ka police soldier. So here also in the Gambia, despite the meager resources, we are doing our best. What I'm building Inspector General of Police now, the new IGP Sanyang, this operation occupy the space now. So that means, no space on in Fotela, so this is why of recent, Nale Korosiroke, Alkaje, every Johnson, everywhere, the police jeto.
Exactly.
Police yaila. We are creating that visibility. Of course, we should have been moving with vehicle here and there, police vehicle label, having the sirens, everything, but follow. So nya men soto wala nya wuli nya simuta nya yaay sato ko ka make so crimes will prevent the city officer ko like comme Jaiteh of the comfort zone kono ka expect ko mol minala nan jero like that firefighting policing mol minala jeka ko fo mol nyari act no we have to be proactive policing lafta ka woleke and boleke kam fana and nyal general public bela support need janto total bela makoro lale ale make so any information asorota any information please just alert us. You will see our officers going around on visibility patrols, engage them, tell them this is what is about to happen or this is what is happening. Now okay, balam collectively, ferol sorla, crime stop no nyame o ka tara bag ni bankoka.
Yes, komi do fon kollo because chalong komi is very important for molia kolke. Sometimes if we are talking tol kambe komi tol ngabele fo but ni molia kumaro kiliro ke e kala wolde komi yarab nandal mom fen commencer fon folo. Modo e fen fo jang ay kolke na ko komi like police ñu fanan to capacitize them. What form of education are we giving them and how are we, training these police? Because sometimes, community police, you have to, capacity. Inyanta sembo na makamo na londo di la galele. Ini mole participate and diba ferel tamandi la nyame. But sometimes it's sad. Come ni mo from a case report at police. Ekata for the police officer for you. Allah mol da mongol la kanyo bole say. You understand? And like the police are creating that kind of boundary. Katani mol la ko. Police are not your friends. So I hope at your community policing level, you have some mechanisms to upgrade your police by, educating them. Let them understand, as you said, democratic forms of policing.
Yeah. Thank you very much. That is something, it is always our thinking to how are we going to be proactive in trying to train members of our police officers constantly conducting refresher training is very important, particularly on community policing. How to execute community policing. Because I will not say most of the police officers don't understand, but you see, policing, it has taken a paradigm shift now. There are new trends in policing now that needs to be communicated to our members of the police, to police officers themselves. Because we are living in an area now where sustainable forms of policing is anchored on community policing. It is no more reactive. Reactive in the sense, it's very expensive. We don't even want, it's the success of any police organization. It is not dependent on the number of crimes registered. If a police officer tells you that, they tell the police officer they don't even understand why you are crowned to be a police officer. It is not the number of people we take to court determine how successful we are. But how successful we are as a police organization depends on how are we proactive to reduce the crime. How crime mitigation strategies. How are we working on our crime mitigation strategies? As he mentioned, one of our crime mitigation strategies we are using today is enhancing police visibility. Once you enhance police visibility and you conduct what we call interactive patrols, we have a police officer will be assigned to a particular zone and then engage the community on interactive patrols. That alone is feedback for the police, it's intelligence for the police, and then it's information sharing. Once you just how are you? You greet the person, I hope you are this environment, you are safe, and certain basic things that you, and that one will even restore the trust and confidence you are calling for. Because without that, people will not come forward. Come forward and volunteer information. So that trust and confidence must start first with us as police officers. Our integrity as police officers must be restored. We ourselves need to work on ourselves.
Yes. On a short note, short note, time is almost time is going and it's almost approaching to. So you are the head of community policing. He sets resources that police need in general, and in fact, I know most of those things he said. You need them. But like at the community policing level, you are like a father figure. You are like a symbol. You are like an icon. Everything they are like. You are the one bearing everything. Sometimes you will tell your manage, let's manage. And your people are fond of saying that when I was joining the police, so and so we used to have one. So. At your community level, community policing level, what are some of your challenges that you are facing and which you think that they need urgent solution?
Yeah, basically it's about confidence building. Because people sometimes if you go out, people will tell you that we are living in fear. That is dangerous for the police. For community members to come forward and tell a police officer that we are now living in fear, fear of crime. That means there is a gap. And that gap can only be cemented through quality community contacts. So how do you engage members of the community on quality community contacts? Is engaging, establishing those structures. Once you have those viable structures in the community, like the one who called in UK, it's just change of nomenclature, but we have the same in the Gambia here. That is what if you want to activate more in our various communities. Community policing volunteers, these are people who go out and volunteer primarily to support the police. They can execute even execute arrest. They can execute and then immediately hand over to the nearest police station. They can share information with the police. They can share security intelligence with the police. So these are people who are definitely out there to volunteer information and to do any other policing.
Yes, still sticking to my point, because I know security is not easy, you understand? And basically, somebody who is sacrificing, although they are paid, but what are some of the things you are also looking at to make sure that these securities who are on the front line, their rights and their rights are not violated, and they also the basic things that they need, the fundamental core that they need are also there. Because sometimes we are fond of saying, okay, let's sacrifice, sometimes up to their detriment, and that comes to be so severe sometimes. So what actually are you advocating?
Yes.
So that your men in the front line are let me not say abuse, but also they are giving the basic things that they need.
You see, to sum it all, my brother, you see, policing is an expensive enterprise. Our police officers need to be motivated. You see, policing is very, very difficult. Sometimes you close from work and you'll be recalled to come back to office. Sometimes you go out to work and you'll not come home till the next day. So it requires a lot of sacrifice, but that sacrifice must be accompanied by quality motivation. We need to be motivated. We need to be motivated in order to execute our functions in the way that is desired. for this country. That is it. The motivation, and one thing we also need to, just before we cut it, community policing is not one of activity. It is a continuous process. It is not about my office embarking on a particular committee activity and then suddenly it dies out. It is one activity builds on the other activity, and that one requires what? Enormous resources. So when those resources are absent, it will be difficult for even the community policing officers to execute those activities they have, the line of activities they have.
Thank you very much. This is something that we are going to raise to the IGP, and the Defense and Security Committee of Parliament, will also be here. We are going to raise it because security is everybody's business. So we cannot just fold our hands and say that, okay, look, because once the budgets are being made, the budget is always made at the Parliament. So we have to bring those parliamentarians here, and then we have to contribute to make sure that the security sector is well funded, because we cannot call for peace if the security sector is under-resourced or the basic resources they need in order to carry out their activities are lacking. We cannot jeopardize our security, or we cannot sacrifice our security by giving them limited resources and start telling them manage. So, ASP Conta, I'm very glad that you are here, and at one point I can remember in Kartong, you raised to the people that peace building is everybody's business. And you must have a final remark for the people regarding the peace and the stability of this country, because it's almost time. If you can say it in Mandinka, Fula, Jola, Sharawule, you are at liberty, sir.
Okay, my final remarks to the general public is that we all need peace. We cannot execute our functions without peace. We cannot live, as it requires without peace. So please, the little peace that we have, let's nurture it. Let's all come together, support our police. The police belongs to you. We are you and you are us. There is nothing that line between us. Like in the evening, if I go home, I put up this uniform. I'm in civilian dress. I become part of the community. So let's see the police and the community should see each other as brothers and sisters, parents, and children, so that we can have what we, want this country to be. Otherwise, it will be very, very difficult. Let's stop instigating violence. It's not helping. Let's come together, please. That's the words I have for you. And finally, I just want to extend my regards to the Office of the Inspector General of Police for allowing me to come here and take part in this very fruitful discussion. And I also want to extend, greetings to my people in Bakau, because that's the station I'm serving, and that's a station that's very, very difficult to manage. But I'm definitely managing. There was a day I went to the cells. There was no one in. I was very happy. Like Jaiteh rightly said, this is what we want. We don't want to go to the police station, see the cells, detentions, inundated. We don't want to see that. We want to see our detention centers, empty. If that happens, then that means we are working. But when they are, inundated with people, that means, there's something lagging.
Thank you very much. I'm very much ASP for the Conta atelem Bakaula SOT and I come all for Jamian Kuma Balle Muiti. Finally, final remark also from Chief Superintendent Sup.Jaiteh. You have still now, as I said here, security sector, or our security has to be well funded, but also you have some word of motivation for your men, because you alone cannot do it, they alone cannot do it, but with your constant motivation, they can even go on, because there you are giving them the spirit of resilience. So what do you have for your men and general police in general, how they can collaborate with the community policing and the community at large for effective and robust community policing that we actually want to bring back with full force?
Thank you very much. Once again, we want to thank the Inspector General of Police for the work he is doing presently. The two operations are gaining momentum, and definitely it is helping in the reduction of crime. The Operation Zero Crime, and the other one that is recently also launched, Operation Occupy the Space, to consolidate Operation Zero Crime. And then other community policing initiatives is supporting at the HQ level. and at the regional levels. We want to say big thank to Fatu Network for inviting us. This is what we need in this country. People need to invite. Sometimes it is not about money. We cannot do it alone. We need the support and collaboration of all. So, like I said in my introduction, security is the business of all. Let's see ourselves as security officers, all of us. It's personal security.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Chief Superintendent Sup.Jaiteh and ASP for the Conta ngal tendungal jai al nada kafung kambi jam puru kakacha kulami along wolong the state of community policing and domestic crimes. And to be frank enough, ndema for mola for many along outside there will be jibe kanjam because all the kakeso tombo eko tonya alie justice ke topiko nyele and ala barka bake ndal jonola. Thank you very much, and dear viewers, please, community policing requires everybody's responsibility. Security is everybody's business. Let's come forward, partner with the police, support the police, and ensure that our peace and stability is never compromised. Because when the peace and stability of this country is compromised, the police will not have peace at his or her house. Myself, I will not have peace at my house. So security and peace, security is everybody's business. And you can text the number. I will add you onto the WhatsApp group. We keep on communicating on how best we can bring some suggestions to improve the security sector and support the police. Allah Barka Bake. This is your host, Alassana Justice Jallo.